Meu Deus, onde é o caminho, homem? Minha Nossa Senhora.
The Holloway rematch isn't being approached as a reunion or a walk down memory lane. For Charles Oliveira, it's unfinished business. The urgency in his training camp is obvious, with no signs of nostalgia, only focus and intensity, making it clear that this is a sharper, more dangerous Oliveira, preparing for a very different version of Max Holloway. Analysts are divided over what will matter more this time: Holloway's relentless pace and volume, or Oliveira's evolved killer instinct and finishing ability. But one thing everyone agrees on is that this won't be a simple replay of the past. It feels like an entirely new fight with much higher stakes.
He's not the most dominant guy. If you watch him, he gets in bad positions and guys hurt him, but he's long and lanky, and he can use his feet like hands and tie you up and do these things with his big old long limbs. And obviously he got finished by his...
Oliveira's rise only seems late if you ignore how early his journey actually started. Thrown into the UFC as a teenager, he was immediately surrounded by world-class fighters, absorbing elite-level experience long before most prospects hit their prime, and that kind of growth takes time to fully mature. Rogan believes the true version of Oliveira didn't emerge until his late 20s, when his experience finally aligned with his raw talent. Since then, even the toughest contenders have struggled to survive once he takes control. Because when Oliveira smells momentum, the ending is usually swift and brutally decisive.
I also think that he got into the UFC when he was 20. And so part of the problem was, like, he was learning and developing and growing as an elite in an elite organization. How old is he? 32.
Oh, okay, wow.
32. So, see, he's been around a long-ass time. But he came into his own over the last few years, which kind of makes sense. Like, he figured it out somewhere around 27, 28. But he comes, look, these guys are elite, right? They come close to beating him, but he finds a way to beat them. And the way he does it is so final. The way he beat Poirier, man, that choke was so fucking good. It was so good. Yeah. And that's the same way the world found out about him was Efrain Escudero, who won the Ultimate Fighter. So, who was a very good fighter himself. He fought Oliveira, and Oliveira took his back same way.
And keeps coming back to what truly separates Oliveira from everyone else: the precision and speed of his submissions. He's impressed by how calculated the setups are, and how instantly Oliveira capitalizes on even the smallest mistake. According to Rogan, it's not just flashy creativity off his back. It's the ruthless efficiency arm bars and triangles snapped in before opponents even realize they're in real danger. That's how you build a historic submission record. Against the very best fighters in the world.
Really good at MMA submissions off their back, like Oliveira. Oliveira's real good. It's so crisp, though. When he gets those moments, those openings, just crisp.
Yep. Right away.
Yeah, he finds those arm bars and triangles, and he cinches submissions up so quick. So quick. One of the quickest guys. I mean, does he have the most submissions in the history of the sport?
Yeah, like 20.
They're so quick, man. The technique is so smooth.
How do you have 20 submissions? How do you submit 20 of the most dangerous people in the world?
The dude's a beast. I remember his first submission.
Perspective aligns perfectly with Oliveira's mindset going into the rematch. He doesn't view himself as diminished or desperate, only refined by adversity and fully focused on the mission ahead. For him, beating Max Holloway isn't part of some long-term master plan. It's both the starting point and the finish line. There are no distractions, no talk of future scenarios. Oliveira believes that if he handles this business first, the bigger rewards will follow naturally, and another title run will come as a result of performance, not something he has to demand
If you beat Max Holloway here, do you think we need to start talking about you as a title contender once more?
E depois da tua luta contra o William, muita gente te chegou a desconsiderar, te tirou do páreo, mas você foi lá. Uma grande vitória no Rio de Janeiro, tremenda vitória contra o Matheus Gamrot. Uma vitória contra o Max Holloway. Você acha que o pessoal começa a te ver de novo no páreo para ser de campeão?
Como eu sempre venho falando, o Leão ferido ainda continua sendo um leão, ainda estou no jogo, nada mudou. Eu acabei de vir uma grande vitória e com certeza eu sempre foco na minha próxima luta. O foco total agora é Max Holloway e aí, se Deus abençoar e for da vontade dele eu passar, com certeza, porque não ser o próximo do título.
As I said, a wounded lion is still a lion. All I'm focused on is on the win. I'm focused on the next fight and to win. All I want now is to fight Max Holloway and get a fight. And if God willing, if that's his wish, I'm get a shot at the title after getting him.
Islam Makhachev seems to offer what he believes is the perfect solution for Oliveira respect instead of rivalry. He speaks highly of Oliveira's well-rounded skill set, praising the balance between his striking and submission game, while suggesting that the only missing piece is more experience against elite-level wrestling. From Makhachev's point of view, the door isn't being kicked down as a challenge, but opened as an invitation. It's a subtle message that even among the division's most dominant names, Oliveira is viewed as someone to refine and test himself against, not someone to overlook or dismiss.
Charles is a good guy. If I can help him one day, he can join with us to the camp, come to Dagestan. He have very good striking, high-level grappling. We can help him with the wrestling.
He faces Kobe.
On the other hand, approaches the rematch less as a grudge and more as an unanswered question. He admits their first encounter ended without true clarity and views this fight as a chance to let it unfold the right way. There's no bitterness in his tone, only excitement. Facing a man he considers a cornerstone of the sport, Holloway sounds ready to embrace the moment head-on and resolve it where it counts most inside the cage.
Just for you, because you obviously were the winner of the first fight, even though it ended strangely.
I mean, you know, he had his injury, so at the end of the day, we get to figure out how it goes come March 7th. I'm just excited, man. He's a legend of the sport.
Tackles the lingering questions about their first fight with his usual blunt honesty and a touch of subtle shade. When asked about rumors that Oliveira was injured, Holloway keeps it simple. From everything he's seen and read, there's nothing to suggest the outcome was compromised. He refuses to entertain speculation or what-ifs, shifting the focus firmly back to the rematch, where the only truth will be decided inside the cage. Holloway appears determined to close the door on the past and treat their next meeting as a clean, decisive chapter. And every word he delivers makes it clear that his mindset is fully locked in on proving himself once and for all.
We'll just get straight to the point. Was he injured or not?
Who?
Charles, in your first fight. That's the big rumor, right?
I don't know. There's I believe there's one of the MMA guys did a follow-up with him, and I swear, you know, call me crazy, but I swear in the write-up it said nothing was wrong. So that's what I'm going off of.
Do you think maybe, listen, I'm being serious, do you think maybe Charles did sort of not conjure up an injury to save face in that fight, but do you think maybe he wasn't as injured as he's saying? What is your takeaway from him saying there's an injury and that's why the fight ended?
I mean, I think he had an injury for sure in that area. I think it might have felt like he re-injured it in the moment, you know, and, you know, he's just taking precautions, but it is what it is, you know. The beautiful thing, that thing happened ages ago. Yeah. I'm so over it, bro. It is what it is, and we get to find out here on the 9th Island, March 7th.
It also takes a moment to reflect on how much both fighters have evolved since their first meeting, stressing that the Oliveira stepping into the cage now is far removed from the version fans saw years ago. He acknowledges that Charles has sharpened his striking and added new layers to his overall game, but suggests that the growth may be more visible than necessarily greater. From the outside, it might appear that Oliveira has made the bigger leap, simply because his improvements stand out more clearly. While Holloway believes he's been quietly refining and expanding his own skill set behind the scenes, without the same spotlight on his evolution
in this position.
I feel like this is one of those fights where like everyone's going to talk about the first fight and stuff like that, but it did, as you said, happen so long ago. You two are completely different, especially I feel like Charles is very different from what he was back then. When you look at your game and how it's evolved and his game and how it's evolved, who do you think's added more to your repertoires?
I mean, I don't know. You know, Charles is always known as a jiu-jitsu guy. and he's still being that jiu-jitsu guy. I mean, he did get his striking better. Overall, I would probably have to say that people would probably think Charles probably grew more just because he's actually showing his striking now versus I'm not going out there submitting people. So to the naked eye, to the regular fan, I'm guaranteed they're going to say, no, hey, Charles got...
Justin Githka doesn't hold back when discussing just how dangerous Max Holloway really is. Reflecting on their past encounter, he admits that taking a knockout like the one Holloway delivered isn't just a loss, it's a career-defining moment. Githka isn't willing to risk experiencing that again. His words serve both as a statement of respect and a measure of self-preservation, highlighting the sheer power and precision Holloway possesses. Having felt it once, he knows that facing Holloway at full strength is a serious gamble, and he has no desire to put himself in that position a second time.
Doesn't have to be from a negative,
not at all,
sense, and it wasn't. It was just the truth. Like if I get knocked out again, like Max Holloway knocked me out, I would be done. Like I would not allow myself to risk being in that position again, and that's the truth. But that does not make me 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like that is how I fight. That is more pressure, and luckily pressure makes me better. Yeah.
MMA Guru breaks down why Oliveira could have the advantage if the fight goes to the ground. He highlights the evolution of Charles's takedown game, noting how far more technical and forceful it has become compared to his earlier bouts. Gone are the days of failed back attempts. Oliveira now uses precise grips on the hips and clever setups to control and lift opponents, turning throws and trips into high-percentage takedowns. According to Guru, this added dimension could prove decisive against Holloway, giving Oliveira a legitimate chance to bring the fight to the mat and hunt for an early submission.
How does Max versus Charles go? I'll go Oliveira, chat. Who else is very impressed with his takedown entries that he's added to his game? Even when he went for it on Ilya and went for the 50-50 throw, I was like, oh my god, dude, he's strong in this double under position. He's never been like that before. He always used to shoot in and try and get the back from it and fail to take down. Like, he was never picking up Gaethje and dunking him or getting his hands behind the arse of Poirier and getting his hands connected and dunking him down. It was very throw and trip oriented, but he's now like getting in on the hips, hands connected, picking him up. Picking up Gamrot like that, even though Gamrot balanced and stayed in a good position and then eventually gave up his back anyway.
Continuing his analysis, MMA Guru predicts that Holloway likely won't be able to take Oliveira down early, at least not in the first round. Instead, he emphasizes how much Oliveira's offensive wrestling has improved, making takedowns a realistic threat. By blending precise timing with constant pressure, Oliveira can exploit openings and use his refined technique to bring Holloway to the mat, turning his evolved takedown entries into a potential early advantage. Guru suggests that gaining that initial control could set the tone for the entire fight, putting Oliveira in a commanding position from the start.
He's not going to drop him in the first round, I don't think, anyway. I don't know. I think he'll actually be able to get takedowns because his offensive wrestling has massively improved. And watching Ilya shooting on the hips of Holloway, pick him up and dunk him on the ground like that in round 1.
Bedtime MMA calls this an exciting rematch, highlighting that both fighters have clearly leveled up since their first encounter. While he leans slightly toward Holloway as the favorite, he notes that a win won't automatically guarantee a title shot. Holloway's next fight could be something unexpected, like a co-main event for the BMF belt later in the year. Meanwhile, a victory for Oliveira might still set him up against Paddy Pimblett regardless. Either way, this matchup promises to reveal just how much both fighters have grown since their last meeting.
This is a sick matchup. I think both of these guys have improved so much from when they first fought. I do think Max Holloway is going to win this, but it's weird because whoever wins this, I really don't see them getting a title shot. Like, I think if Max wins, his next fight will probably be some weird shit like BSD for the BMF belt as a co-main event later in the year. If Charles
Lynch offers his take on the matchup, reflecting on UFC history and missed opportunities. He admits he would have loved to see Arman Sarkeesian face Holloway instead of waiting on a title shot that might take too long to come. Instead, the spotlight falls on the Oliveira rematch, which Lynch frames as a high-stakes, long-awaited battle. He also revisits their first encounter at UFC Saskatoon, pointing out that an injury prevented a full contest, leaving the fight feeling incomplete and setting the stage for a rematch that promises a definitive outcome this time.
Picky thing. I would like to see Arman Tsarukyan fight Max Holloway only because I think it's going to be a while before Arman fights, and I know people will say he deserves the title shot, but we know what's happening right now. It's going to be Gaethje. It's going to be Patty for the interim title. Where does Arman fit into this? I don't know, but I don't want to see Arman on the shelf waiting around to get an opportunity. I would have rather seen him fight Max Holloway, but nonetheless, this is a very good fight. Rematch, actually. If you remember, their first fight happened a long time ago. It was at the UFC Saskatchewan card. And it's funny because I don't think the UFC's been back to Saskatchewan since then. That fight, the first fight, was a neck and shoulder injury. You could probably find it somewhere on YouTube, but
Kenny Okoye highlights why Oliveira has quietly become a bigger threat than many realize. After a performance that even outshined top wrestlers like Gamrot, Oliveira's growth is impossible to ignore. Okoye emphasizes that beyond his grappling, Charles's pressure and striking on the feet are underrated weapons. His relentless forward-moving style forces opponents into mistakes, even against elite strikers. While acknowledging that someone like Ilia Topuria is a unique counter-striker, Okoye notes that Oliveira's constant, aggressive, and precise approach can overwhelm anyone who underestimates just how complete he has become.
Oliveira, similar to Max Holloway, is coming off a performance that I feel like makes people realize, like, hold up a minute, because Charles just seems so much better than Gamrot, who's probably known as the best freestyle wrestler in the lightweight division before that fight. You know, oh, dude, I know, man. I know. Like, they kept talking about, and I was one of them, but the reason I picked Charles is because I did feel like Charles' overwhelming presence is going to be too much. Because something people sleep on is Charles Oliveira's pressure and striking on the feet. It's not that Charles can't strike, guys. I gotta, like, preface something. Ilia Topuria is a special type of striker, as in, like, Ilia Topuria will counter you to an oblivion if you just walk forward like an imbecile. No offense to Charles, but that's kind of...
You see this rematch playing out. Who do you think will walk away with the win this time? Drop your predictions in the comments, share your thoughts, and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any fight breakdowns and analysis.